Hello there everyone, welcome back to my channel, beautiful. How are you doing today? My name is Joesephyr, and in today's video I am wanting to talk to you all about a game I have become completely obsessed with in the past few weeks that not enough people are talking about, and I wanted to showcase it to you all as a huge fan of Final Fantasy and JRPGs in general. But today we're going to talk about Chained Echoes. Now, this was a game that was sent to me by the creators Deck 13 a couple of weeks ago while I was really sick, and I honestly didn't really know what to make of it because I was really ill at the time, but I was playing it on my Steam Deck. I'm like, this is really good. Like, this is not a sponsored video or anything like that. It was just, I was very kindly gifted the game, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm like genuinely going crazy over this modern classic style of game, and honestly I want to just talk to you guys about it because I can't stop playing it. So if you guys want to know more about it, then stay tuned and keep on watching. Now, before we get started, of course, don't forget to check out all of my social media links down below. We are moving very much into a variety content style thing with Joesephyr, and I'm also looking at doing a second channel maybe in the new year that might be quite exciting. So if you're enjoying what you're seeing on me, like with makeup and things like that, that might be something that you might be interested in, although it will be a separate channel, so don't worry. This particular channel is still very much going to be focused on gaming, JRPGs, Square Enix titles, Final Fantasy, all of that good stuff. But I've got some extra plans coming in the new year, having now worked more as a makeup artist recently, and I think it's going to be quite exciting. And of course you can come and find me playing all sorts of games over on Twitch, and all sorts of like RPGs, all of that good stuff, and you can look forward to more content of this variety going forward as well. And I wouldn't be any video without me giving a shout out to one of my patrons over on Patreon, as I do every video, because you guys, especially now that I'm not playing Dissidia anymore and stuff like that, it means the world to me that you guys believe in me and want me, want to support this channel. So a big shout out goes to all of you, really, especially this close to Christmas, hence the Christmassy look with the green and red. And I just want to give a quick shout out to Kisan, who is on my Patreon as well. Thank you ever so much for your support, and if you would like a title card just like Kisan has, and all of the rest of my supporters as well, to go at the end of all of my videos, then by all means consider joining up over on Patreon as well. So let me tell you what Chained Echoes is exactly. So Chained Echoes is the newest game released by Deck 13, which is a company that I learned of when it came to one of their previous games called Crosscode that I was really obsessed with back then, and I was very kindly emailed by one of the guys from there and saying, hey, we'd really like you to try this game out and see what you think, and we know you like a lot of JRPGs and stuff. I was like, yeah, okay. And I was really sick, so I cracked this out on my Steam Deck, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. So the story in Chained Echoes is you play as Glenn and Len and like a ragtag bunch of misfits that come together all through different walks of life. Sir Victor, who is a bard who's lived for a long time, Len, who is a princess of the Kingdom of Taran, who is sort of brought forward, like goes out into the world because she wants to learn more about the world and sort of talk about the war that's inevitably going to happen. And it's set in a world that reminds me so much of Final Fantasy VI, it's not even funny. Even to the point where at the start of the game you start in a sky armor, which gives me so much Magitech vibes, it's not even funny, before you then start bringing your sort of characters together and traversing through the world to learn what is going on with an artifact called the Grand Grimoire, which in this game is not a book, as it normally is when it comes to any JRPG. The Grimoires are usually books. This one, it's not. So there's a lot of very intriguing things. The story is really cohesive. The characters are all really likable, and honestly, if you're looking for a classic RPG, this gives me a little bit Final Fantasy VI, like I said, a little bit Chrono Trigger, a little bit Golden Sun, all those classic things, and honestly, it blends together so well. In terms of the combat and the main gameplay loop, it is a very classic RPG, like SNES era, PS1 era, that type of thing. So if that's what you're looking for, you will find it in Chained Echoes. The combat's actually very interesting. So you have 8 characters, or up to 8 characters in your party, but you only ever control 4 of them at once. and you have sort of a conditional turn-based system between you and the enemies, and depending on your agility stat, you know, what you would expect, the turn order plays out in a certain way. However, when you are on foot, you can swap between one character and another character that is paired up with them on each turn, and there are certain status conditions like stagger which force you to switch your character, and each character has their own thing, as well as class items which you accrue over the course of the game, which can change or add certain job style abilities to those characters so that you get a wider array of things that you can do with them. And you learn abilities through leveling up, but leveling up isn't done in the same way as it is in other RPGs. You don't do it through experience, you do it through hitting certain story beats, or like going through what is essentially like a board game or puzzle board of things that you have to achieve, like killing X of a certain enemy or finding X treasure chests within an area, and that kind of builds up, and the more you get within a line, the more bits and pieces you get to play with when it comes to leveling up your characters. So it's actually a very unique and interesting way of leveling up that still gets you to play the game, but doesn't do so in a way that makes it overwhelming and something that we've always seen before. Speaking of the leveling mechanic, honestly, like, one of the things that impressed me so much with Chained Echoes was the fact that there are tons of mechanics in this game. Like I said, the combat on foot is one thing, but as you get through the game, you start to get the sky armors back again, and the way that combat is done with them is slightly different. You also have crafting in the game. You also have like deals which are done by selling items and sort of going across that way. You get gemstones which you can put into your weapons and armor and customize them that way. There's a lot of mechanics in this game, and yet at no point during the pretty hefty amount of time I've spent with this game did I feel overwhelmed. And I think it's because Chained Echoes has managed this really perfect line of going through things you would already be doing in a JRPG if you've played a lot of them before, or even if you haven't. You know, you sell things and that works with the deals. You're doing crafting stuff and that incorporates the crystals that you're finding. You're getting materials which you can use to level up your weapons. It's all stuff that just comes naturally, and it just works, and everything's done with very quick button presses for you to find out all the bits and pieces you need when it comes to the board from which you can get your levels and stuff, like all the grimoire shards which you use to then level up. And there's a lot of customization available as well. Like, each character you choose from a certain number of skills and passives to level up with, and then once you've gotten enough of them, you then unlock the next tier of them. So it's super simple and yet really customizable and in-depth. And I'm still playing this game. Like, I haven't finished it. All of the footage that you're seeing right now, like from this video, is all within Act 1. And I've spent at least 20 hours in this game, like doing bits and pieces, side quests, everything, because I just can't put it down. And there's still so much more to come, and I'm genuinely really excited to play more. And honestly, one of the other things that I love about Chained Echoes, and I have been gushing about this game on Twitter and stuff for weeks. I actually wanted to get this review out, or, you know, this video out about the game a little while ago, but I honestly sat there and was like, no, I want to sit there and play this game more, because I think that if I give my first impressions of it, it wouldn't be fair on this game, because there's so much to love about it. I'm just going to keep playing it, and I really want to give a good, meaty impression of this game, because I was worried, you know how it goes with an RPG, where you sort of get to a certain point of it and then maybe sometimes it burns itself out, or maybe it takes a while to get to its crescendo. I have not gotten bored playing Chained Echoes once in the whole time that I've been playing it. I honestly cannot wait to finish this video so I can go back and play more. And the music is so good. Like, it's so good. Like, again, gushing about this over on Twitter, and the composer actually, like, noticed it and sort of liked it, and I got a little bit fangirly over it, because I really did. Just the second you load the game up, the music is just phenomenal from start to finish. The battle themes are good, the field themes are good, the town themes are good, the boss battles are good, the chase sequences are good, and there's so many little bits and pieces that change with the gameplay. Like, there's a boss where you're on a lift and you have to change the direction of the lift, otherwise you get game overed because you get to the end of the track. But if depending on which direction you chose, little bits of effects changed and like affect you and the boss. It was just so dynamic and really genuinely enjoyable. I haven't really watched any other reviews for this game, but honestly, like, I've seen a lot of people kind of going, oh, this game looks quite cool. It's just fantastic, and I cannot stop talking about it. I love this game. So, do I have anything negative to say about Chained Echoes? No, honestly, not really. Like, I'm sitting here and I'm really, really loving it. It is very old school, so people who are looking for your AAA title with the crazy, like, super duper mega graphics, you're probably not going to find it here. And there are a lot of missable bits and pieces, but none that I've found like any kind of point of no return at. Like, you can fast travel to where you need to go to finish bits on the reward board, or, you know, go and farm SP, which is another mechanic that, again, super simple and super in-depth. You can like enhance abilities individually and up to a maximum level of 3, or at least as far as I've played. That max might go up. But, you know, you can enhance individual abilities. So, again, that level of customization on the characters you like, the way you like to play them, and which abilities you actually want on them, and how far you take those abilities on them, really customizable. Grinding, not necessary either in this game. I just don't think that you can sit there and really grind out making your character super busted. The strategies are much more at the forefront than just how much XP you've accrued over the course of the game. And honestly, I really do think that I'd like to see more JRPGs take this kind of approach, where your progress through the game just comes naturally. Though people who really like kind of over-grinding and doing that kind of thing before going into the next section, maybe that's a like a minus point for them, but you can still go through, finish the reward board, get as many grimoire shards as you can before you move on to the next section of the game. I quite like playing a game like this, at least the first time, just going through it at its own pace, at like its intended pace, I suppose, and then like go through it a second time and really comb through it. I did a similar thing with Crisis Core Reunion recently. But yeah, I honestly, like, this is probably in my top 10 games of the year, and it came out of nowhere for me, right at the end of the year as well. So let's ask the question then, should you play Chained Echoes? Like, I mean, I think that through the majority of this video you can tell that I really like this game. And I was very, very pleasantly surprised by it as well. Like I said, this is the closest thing I have seen to a modern classic, if you will, a modern retro version of Final Fantasy VI or Chrono Trigger that I have seen in a very long time. And I've been so impressed with the presentation, the music, the combat, the story, the characters, everything about this game. Yeah, there are certain things that you may have seen referenced in other ways, like I said, the sky armor and the way that those operate are very similar to kind of like your Magitech armors and stuff like that. We have seen this kind of steampunk meets sci-fi meets magic in the past through a lot of previous RPG titles, but I just think that the presentation and the way that it's all brought together is so good that I can only recommend this game. It's on Game Pass as well, so if you're on Xbox, it's free if you have Xbox Game Pass, so there's no reason for you not to go and play it if you've got it on Xbox Game Pass. And even if you don't, it's not a super expensive game, and given how much I played it and how little I seem to have like managed to finish, I just can't wait to go and play more, and I absolutely think that you guys would enjoy it as well if you've watched any of my videos or like the same games I do. So yeah, that's just a quick video on Chained Echoes, and all of the footage that you're seeing up here has all been recorded by me. There's obviously like your occasional stumbles. I have had some challenging fights here and there where I have lost and I've had to go back in again. It's definitely got a nice sort of difficulty curve to it as well, but I cannot give this game enough praise. Like, I've been talking to everybody about it. They're probably sick of hearing me talking about it, to be honest, but I just wanted to make a video and just showcase some of this game to you guys as well, because I really do think that you would enjoy it if you enjoy the same sorts of things as I do. So thank you ever so much for watching, and thank you ever so much to Tech13 for sending me a copy of this game, because I love it and I really want other people to play it. So hopefully you guys get something out of this video as well. And like I said, if you've got it on Xbox, if you've got Xbox Game Pass, you can go and play it right now, and if not, it's available on everything. So honestly, just go and play it. It's a really, really good JRPG, and I've been so impressed with it. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications on any future videos I might be making. And if I don't see you beforehand, have a really lovely Christmas, and I will have lots of updates coming in for the new year. So lots of exciting stuff there as well. Thank you again, and I will see you next time, beautiful. Take care.